Babin. He's co-chair of the House Border Security Caucus. It's great to see you, Congressman. So we had protesters greet President Biden in his tightly controlled visit to El Paso yesterday, his first as president of the border. I want your reaction to Texas Governor Abbott debunking the Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas and the president here. Watch this.
Governor Abbott is not collaborating with the federal government on an issue that requires collaboration.
The only reason why we have these people coming across the border like we do is because both the Homeland Security Secretary and the president are not enforcing current laws. They claim that Republicans need to work with them. I have outlined exactly what they need to do as a starting point to begin to secure the border. And so any suggestion by either Secretary Mayorkas or the president that Republicans are not working with them is just flat out false.
I gave the president a letter from me to him outlining the chaos that his refusal to enforce the border laws has caused in the state of Texas. I told him how thousands of Texans have lost their lives, that tens of thousands of Texans have had their lives destroyed by his open border policy.
Listen, this visit is about 2 years too late and about $20 billion short of what needs to be done. All he's going to do down there is rearrange the chairs on the deck of the Titanic.
What's your reaction, sir?
My reaction is exactly the same as our governor. He outlined in his letter exactly what needed to be done, the actions to take to secure the border. And quite frankly, the Biden administration, Joe Biden and his team have done nothing but demonize Republicans for not voting for the Omni package, the $1.7 trillion package, when in reality, that funding would not have done one thing. It wouldn't have built any wall. It wouldn't have secured our border. It wouldn't have given us any more infrastructure improvements to secure our border. It was, in fact, it forbade, it prohibited spending any of this money on anything that would do that. It just simply facilitated more processing and getting more people over the border. And they've got to. Yes, ma'am.
The Governor Abbott says the president's trip to El Paso was theater. It was cleaned up and sanitized of illegal camps and illegals sleeping on the streets. So they clean up only for the president, but not for local taxpayers? I mean, we have over 5 million illegal crossers on the president's watch. And the Governor Abbott is saying the president avoided the areas where mass illegal immigration takes place. He didn't talk to the thousands of angry Texas property owners whose property and lives have been destroyed by his policies.
Exactly, Liz. I was down in El Paso with Speaker McCarthy just a month ago. There was an enormous tent city right across the river. That's all been cleaned up. It's been sterilized for Biden's visit. And quite frankly, what he needs to do, instead of going to see Trump's wall that was built, he should go to see the gaps that his policies where they have prohibited the building of the walls. Biden he's been in office for 50 years, and this is his first trip down to the border. This whole thing was a dog and pony show, and to blame Republicans for this, it's nothing but dishonesty. And Mayorkas and Biden and their whole team they ought to go down there and apologize to the Border Patrol, and they definitely need to be meeting with Texas property owners and people who have had their lives completely ruined with the millions of people that have come across our border. 200,000 dead Americans from overdoses over the last 2 years because they've empowered the cartels to bring in these drugs. And it's just absolutely horrendous that they can come down there and think that in just a few minutes, going to the ports of entry where there's really not a whole lot happening illegally, that is, and criminal activity, and think that they've done something. It is a joke. It truly is a joke.
Former GOP Congressman Myra Flores of Texas is saying we need 87,000 new border security officials, not 87,000 new IRS agents to go after Americans.
That's exactly right. And one of our very first bills is going to be to reverse that 87,000 IRS agents that will be hounding the middle-class folks of America. This administration is going to have a reckoning with oversight that we're going to implement here real quickly.